Last week, a member of parliament, Sir David Amess, was murdered. I was going to say in horrific circumstances, but that kind of normalizes murder. Murder is always horrific. And I see politicians and reporters wringing their hands, asking what more can be done to protect MPs, whilst allowing them to continue to do a fundamental aspect of their job, which is to be out there talking to the people whom they represent. And yet it seems to me that one of the fundamental aspects of this situation is not being talked about. And that is that leaders have a responsibility for the way that they behave. And when they behave in such a way that creates division, then the extremes of that division will tend to be much more amplified than the source of the division, which you can imagine being the sort of center of a bell curve. Everyone says that Sir David was a supremely kind, caring individual who loved community and minority groups. And we saw that in the grief, solidarity, and gratitude that was expressed by some of those groups very publicly. But he was a member of an institution which is creating fear and deep, deep divisions along with the media, both print and radio. When I worked in the Ministry of Defence, I was responsible for drafting answers that MPs could give to formal questions that had been posed on certain topics in the House of Commons. I remember being called into a minister's office and my brief was on his desk. And he looked very angry. And he said to me, "What's this?" And I said, "Well, Minister, it's the answer to the question." And he said, "I can't say this in the House. Give me something that I can say." And it was at that moment that I realized that whilst my loyalty was to Queen and country, the people who made the decisions about whether I went to war or not were politicians. And it was at that moment that I decided to resign from the Royal Marines. I'm giving a talk in November about bullying and harassment in the workplace as part of Serenity in Leadership's Equity, Diversity and Inclusion Dialogue series, and I'm researching for it. What I'm seeing a great deal of is leaders in organizations being appalled at the thought that there might be bullying going on in their organization. They would much prefer to believe that it's happening elsewhere, but that it's not happening in their company. Whilst at the same time, they're pitting departments against each other, individuals against each other, either knowingly, which some are, or unknowingly, which quite a few are. Society is deeply divided at the moment, and there are many reasons to infer that the future will be even more divided. So it becomes beholden on us as leaders to really take responsibility for our actions. As Rumi, the Persian poet, said, "Yesterday I was clever, so I wanted to change the world. Today I am wise, so I am changing myself." We are role models, whether we like it or not. People look to us, and whatever we do, there will be people who will amplify our behavior for good or for bad. So let's emulate the best of Sir David. Let's be kind. Let's really listen and be far more aware of our impact on those around us. My name is Tom Dennis. I'm the CEO of Serenity in Leadership, and I'll see you next week. Thanks.